Anyways, Logan Paul's prime drink is failing. 92% sales drop by Kowski. I'm surprised. I never really heard of it doing really badly, but okay. We'll jump into it. We'll look at it.
Logan Paul's.
We'll look at it. Logan Paul. Wait, I wouldn't log inside Paul's ass. Okay.
Billion-dollar clout drink just barely flopped straight into bankruptcy. Prime high drink.
Into bankruptcy? Is that real? No way. Wasn't this a group project? Like multiple people? Am I seeing that correctly? I'm seeing Simon Desue here. What the fuck? That's a German guy. Huh? Interesting.
Aka the holy water of middle schoolers and gym bros who don't even lift, is collapsing faster than Logan Paul's credibility. We're talking 92% revenue drops.
92 and 70% in UK revenue drop. Wow, that's rough. Damn, they're cooked.
$77 million worth of lawsuits.
Lawsuits as well? I didn't even hear of that. Yeah, if I ever release a product, I won't release a product ever. You can dream about it, that won't happen.
And a brand that went from "we're taking over Gatorade" to "please just take a sip, bro." Oh, and if you thought Logan was done catching lawsuits like their Pokemon, think again. We're also going to talk about how he fumbled the Crypto Zoo bag, got exposed by CoffeeZilla, and is now trying to sue his way out of it like a true crypto cowboy. But first, let's delve.
From when is this video even? Oh, just a month ago. That's not that far away still. Interesting. Last time I heard anything about this man, it was about how he said something about his daughter. I don't remember what it was, but everyone was saying she'd be so sad when she grows up and sees it. What did he say then? That sounds concerning.
Into the prime situation, and the downfall that nobody saw coming. Except literally everyone. So let's start with the numbers, because this isn't just a flop, this is a financial crime scene. In the UK alone, Prime's revenue nosedived from 112 million in 2023 to just 33 million pounds in 2024. That's a 70% drop, and their net profit down 91.6% from 3.7 million pounds to To
be fair, I'm not surprised particularly, because it's a drink. And, well, there's many drinks of content creators that drop off and even fail, so this isn't really too big of a surprise. It just happens.
112,000. That's like going from Drake money to DoorDash money in a year. And in the US, another 40% sales decline. Altogether, Prime's global revenue is down a whopping 92%. That's not a red flag, that's a red funeral. And this wasn't some slow decline, this was a full Titanic moment. One day Prime was selling out shelves, and the next it was being used as a paint thinner in high school janitor closets. And you might be asking why? Well, because clout is not a business model. I don't care how many boxing matches you fake win or how many YouTube thumbnails you scream in. If your drink tastes like melted Jolly Ranchers soaked in regret, people will eventually stop buying it. As Design Rush put it perfectly, Prime scaled on hype, not.
Like, when I think about it, there's only one drink, even here in Germany, by German creators, that has fully established itself and is actually standing proud and high, and appears to not be going anywhere because of how good it is. That you don't have. I don't think Prime is that.
Loyalty. If your brand can't survive beyond attention, it's not built to last. That's not just brutal, that's biblical. And Logan Paul, he built this empire on TikTok trends and 12-year-olds begging their parents of their influencer overlord's nectar. But now that hype's died down and people actually, tasted the drink. And yeah, back to their favorite energy drink they go, because Prime it's just awful. So again, let's break it down. Repeat customers dropped because once you get over the, hey, this little bottle looks like it belongs in a Fortnite loot chest, Prime just doesn't taste that good. Even Logan's own fans were like, okay, cool branding, but why does this taste like Skittles had a midlife crisis? And also the
What are these descriptions? Skittles had a midlife crisis. bro, the description of this. I don't think I've seen it once in shelves here in Germany. Once, and it was a single bottle. So I guess it did sell out, or maybe they just had a single bottle because nobody wanted it. I've never tried it. Should I? It might taste ass though. Maybe it was I wanted to boy some, but I think he came to really like being a girl dad. I think that's for a lot of men though, that they want the son. I think that's pretty normal. Just like mothers would rather like just prefer girls. I feel like this is just a natural thing. I feel like personally, I don't care. As long as they're healthy.
spending per purchase dropped. Retailers aren't restocking as much because people aren't buying as much. You can't sell what nobody wants. If Prime's sitting on shelves longer than Logan Paul's apology tweets, that's bad news for business. And their new customer growth basically flatlined. Outside of Logan Paul,
you know you're cooked, right? You know you're cooked when your product is on the lowest shelf. You know exactly you're cooked.
And KSI's social media, where's the marketing? When's the last time you saw a Prime commercial, a billboard, a bus ad? The marketing plan for Prime was literally, hope Logan posts a shirtless pic with the bottle again. And let's not forget the taste reviews. People online are comparing it to everything from perfume to cough syrup to liquefied fruit salad your grandma forgot in the sun. Yeah, that's not really hydration, is it? That's more of a health hazard. And if the sales collapse wasn't enough, Prime's also being chased by a small army of lawyers, and they're not playing. Let's go lawsuit by lawsuit like it's a legal UFC card.
Lawsuit by lawsuit. I didn't hear anything of the lawsuits, to be fair. That's new information. That's new information. Shouldn't they keep that to themselves? Oh, they absolutely should. That's on the internet. That's forever there. That's not going anywhere. For sure. Like, you should keep that shit to yourself. Absolutely. No denial. Got a platform, I think you should say it. You would always be there. Exactly. No denial. This shouldn't be there. You shouldn't say that publicly. Say, like, do you see a lot of Prime in my local stores, but I never buy it? I've seen it once, and that's it. I've never seen it again since. It's gone. Gunna G is just, far superior, it appears. Because that one's everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. Though, then again, this is a German brand, so it makes sense.
Refresco versus Prime, $67 million. Refresco was one of Prime's manufacturing partners. They say Logan promised to buy a certain amount of product over 3 years, then completely ghosted them once sales dropped. Now they're suing for $67 million. That's more than Prime's entire 2024 revenue. And then we've got Agrana versus Prime for $13 million. This one's juicy. Agrana supplied ingredients to Prime, but now they claim Prime didn't pay. Prime clapped back, saying the ingredients weren't up to standard. Regardless of who's right, it's another public stain on a brand that already smells like water.
So they took the ingredients but didn't pay and made the Prime dish washing water anyways.
Watermelon chemicals and unpaid invoices. PFAS lawsuit, potentially $5 million. Prime's grape flavor allegedly contains PFAS, forever chemicals that the EPA limits in drinking water. The plaintiffs say Prime Energy is
Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. I mean, 177 times the legal amount of lead in baby food, does that even matter anymore? Everything. Like, this stuff is just purely chemicals. This shit is killing you one way or another.
basically serving up toxic juice to kids. And Prime response? Nuh-uh. This case is still active though, so we'll see. High caffeine class action, $5 to $10 million.
This morning, New York Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime, which he says is being marketed to children and contains the caffeine equivalent of 6 cans of Coca-Cola.
Prime Energy has 200.
Yes, energy drink. Caffeine. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, but I'm not surprised. What did you expect? It's an energy drink. Of course there's caffeine in there. Still see it in stores in Florida, but never had an interest because the label screams to me nasty or too sugary. Apparently it tastes nasty, and it definitely is too sugary. Like, there's no denying that.
Milligrams of caffeine per can, but lawsuits say some cans may actually contain more, and the branding is so similar to Prime Hydration that kids might think it's the same drink. So now Prime's being accused of deceptively marketing a hyper-caffeinated drink to literal children. Yikes. And then the caffeine.
Okay, they're separate product technically, but it looks similar, so kids might think it's the same. Okay.
Caffeine mislabeling lawsuit from New York. This one hits hard. A class action lawsuit claims Prime intentionally understated caffeine content on its labels. Allegedly, it wasn't 200 milligrams, it was more. And when your main buyers are middle schoolers with Fortnite brain, that's a health lawsuit waiting to happen. And then the final Olympics lawsuit, which has already been settled between $1 to $3 million. So remember the limited edition Kevin Durant Team USA Prime bottles? Yeah, turns out Logan and KSI didn't get permission from the US Olympic Committee to use that branding. They got sued, it was settled quietly, and based on Logan's silence, we're guessing they lost. So let's do some quick maths. Refresco lawsuit $67 million, Argrana $13 million, the PFSA and the caffeine lawsuits at least $10 million, and then the Olympic lawsuit, let's say what, $2 million?
Yeah, it seems like the Prime headquarters and the are burning like the Vtuber headquarters. Interesting. We're in flames. Opoka, I do have a recommendation for you. Okay.
That's $92 million in legal smoke, and Prime's net profit for 2024, a crisp $430,000. That's not even enough to buy one of Logan's fake Rolexes. At this point, Prime's only way out of it would be to either A, rehype the product with a new wave of influencers who actually like the drink, or B, sell the company to a bigger beverage giant. But who in their right mind is buying a company buried in lawsuits, selling chemical grape juice with more caffeine than a rave DJ? Nobody's touching that with a 10-foot sippy straw.
So earlier this year, a weird like string of rumors started floating around because someone sued us saying that Prime had forever chemicals, like more than you were supposed to drink in like a lifetime, whatever. I made a TikTok debunking it, but regardless, the rumor still got out there, and like low-key the damage is done. And now, even though we're in this lawsuit, whether it's true or not, people think it. And so the lawsuit got dismissed. The plaintiff does have a chance to amend it, but she's chosen not to. She's coming back with one like really weak-ass claim that's probably also going to get dismissed. But it's just like an example of like people reaching, trying to get attention, make a quick buck on a frivolous lawsuit that actually has no merit or is based in nothing, and we're not going to settle.
Well, I'm sorry, but if they, you know, first of all, you tried to debunk on TikTok. That's the first issue I see. The fuck? Second of all, they can literally prove. They can literally prove if it's in there or not, right? They have just labs. Like, they won't just come out with it and saying, yo, there's chemical in there that should be in there, or there's too much of that in there. Sorry, that won't work. There's also one drink in my local store that normally sells pretty well, but because of the collab version of it, it's not selling all that much. I think it might have to do with the fact that it literally says how to sell drugs online. It's Y-food. Bro, you can't be that smart. Stupid. Well, smart, they aren't smart. What the fuck? The weird-ass collab. The SpongeBob sure was savage, kind of. Yeah.
We're not going to settle because your claims are bullshit. And in addition to the Forever Chemicals lawsuit being dropped, So did the the caffeine. The caffeine one, caffeine one. Where plaintiffs said there was like a crazy amount of caffeine like that didn't meet what we said on our label in Prime Energy, which is 18 plus and has 200 milligrams of caffeine. That one also got dismissed. Yeah. But as you know, Jimmy, like negative headlines, negative press sells. And so when there's a lawsuit against Prime and we're being sued, that makes the headline. Yeah. When the lawsuit is dropped, no headline. No one gives a fuck. They're on to the next one. That's not.
So you're telling me you don't.
Now, of course, Logan's trying to clean up the mess by playing the role of hydration chemist. He's been posting videos in production facilities like, look guys, we test every batch, third-party certified.
It is wild how little of accountability this man truly has. Like, I think your product would sell much better, first of all, tasted better, and if you actually were a genuine person behind this, which you aren't. Also, Diagonal, thank you for the $2 super chat. I will react to this. I will. That sounds interesting.
FDA regulated, world-class scientists. Yeah, like trust me bro, this drink is not safe for kids. But even with all that kind of social media gaslighting, the lawsuits are still active, sales are still crashing, and the public trust is in the gutter. You can throw all the white lab coats you want on it, this isn't a lab problem. It's a Logan Paul problem. And speaking of Logan Paul, let's talk about CryptoZoo. Because if Prime wasn't Logan's clout-fueled money printer, then CryptoZoo was his rug pull magnum opus, the one that turned CoffeeZilla into the people's champion and Logan into a walking SEC investigation. So you guys remember that CryptoZoo scandal, the NFT game he promised would be the future, but turned out to literally vanish as soon as everyone bought it. Over $6 million.
I find it funny, right? Every NFT game, fun fact, Ubisoft also did an NFT game. Every NFT game that released is all dead. They're all dead. They're all cooked. The collaboration was for a Netflix series called How to Sell Drugs Online. Damn you, Netflix. Well, I'm aware of that. I've seen that Netflix show occasionally pop up in my recommendations. I'm like, what the fuck? I would never watch this.
Dollars worth of the people's money was poured in, meaning like normal people, individuals put their money in, but the game was never finished and the people left with nothing, with all the money going into Logan's pockets. Basically a textbook rug pull. Logan just stole a bunch of people's money. He promised them refunds but then ghosted, and now he's facing potential legal heat from both the SEC and the FBI, and his latest genius move, suing CoffeeZilla for exposing the truth. So yeah guys, that's Logan Paul and the downfall of his and KSI's Prime Energy drink. I mean look, at the start it was fair enough, every kid wanted to buy it, it was sold out on shelves, there was hype, but now that hype's dead, nobody wants it. And then Logan's not making the situation any better by scamming his fans with his CryptoZoo stuff. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on the situation. Is Prime dead or can it be revived? And is Logan a terrible person? Hope you guys enjoyed. Last rap comment. Have a great day.
Yeah, I think this is not only a taste issue. I cannot imagine that it tastes this ass, right? I don't think so. I also think it's just a Logan Paul issue. Logan Paul is not a good person. Why would I buy something from a person that I don't like, or a horrible person? Why would anybody do that? Why? There's no point in doing that. I don't think so. I think it's just, in general, just a Logan Paul issue. And I mean, this isn't the first time a product from a creator disappears. This won't be the last time. Probably will be dead in a few more years. And then something else will take over that spot. Simple. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.